Well, hello everyone. I am Dale Delbridge, Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This is Friday, January the 7th, 2022, your first status chat in 2022. And we have a good show for you. We're going to try to keep it as short as possible. We got a great middle segment coming up. We will have Monday the college football championship game, a rematch of the two powerhouses in the SEC, Georgia and Bama, and with any luck at all, hopefully we'll see Bama walk away with another national championship, and we'll all be happy and a good time will be had by all. That's Monday night. So we got that going on. We have our numbers, and we'll look at those in just a second, right after we get through with this. Well, with any stories that we might bring to you from the internet in a status chat, you can find the full link to that article in the description of the status chat over on the YouTube page. Now let's see what we have lined up today. Now this article is from Mortgage News Daily, and it is dated Wednesday of this week, and the tagline up at the top, the headline says, Upfront fees on second home loan rising by 1 1/8 to 3 7/8%. That's a rise by, not 2. We want to point that out. Now, this was brought to you if you watch anybody in social media and you have any real estate or loan type of people in your group. You probably heard them say something about it, but they probably didn't give you that much insight of what was going on. Okay, we got two things that they're increasing. High balance loans, and they're the super conforming by Freddie Mac. And what they say is these government loans are good for a certain amount while they're conforming loans. And if they're non-conforming, you might have heard the word jumbo, they exceed that amount. So it said right now that these originated in certain designated areas that exceed the baseline conforming loan limit that is set for $647,200 for 2022. That's a pretty decent house, I would think, for $647,000, over $500,000 home. That's the limit Freddie Mac, the GSEs, are going to go for. Above that, they're non-conforming, or they are you might hear the word jumbo. Some people might use it. Well, they're having an increase on their rates for these loans. Those fees on theirs is 3/4% to 1/4%. That's what they're going up, and it's tiered by the loan to value ratio. That means the more you borrow, the higher that percentage will be. Now here's the big one that everybody was talking about. Upfront fees for second home loans rise between that 1 1/8 and 3 7/8%, also tiered by the loan to value. So that's hitting that second home market pretty hard. And that second home market, you might find out, I'm not saying it is, but you might find out, normally those are sort of the luxury home type of situations, the second home, the lake home, the vacation homes, the cabin in the mountains, or the river shack down on the delta, that kind of thing. They tend to be very nice homes on average. So we'll look at a different article in just a second. But let's look at what is said by this person here, which is the acting director, Sandra L. Thompson of the FHFA, which is the group tasked with setting the standards which the GSEs, or Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, the GSEs, those government-sponsored enterprises, will have to perform to. They're setting the guidelines. The GSEs use taxpayer money, and the FHFA is tasked with seeing how they do that. And this is the director here. Now, remind you that the second home market tends to be luxury in nature. These targeted pricing changes will allow the enterprises to better achieve their mission of facilitating equitable and sustainable access to home ownership, while improving their regulatory capital position over time, said Acting Director Sandra L. Thompson. Today's action represents another step the FHFA is taking to strengthen the GSE's safety and soundness to ensure access to the credit for first-time home buyers and low to moderate income borrowers. that I think are two different things. Yes, if you want duck feathers, you can pluck a duck. And they're going for the money. They're going for the money on the second home loans. They're raising those fees. That will give them more money. However, that market is not targeted at first-time home buyers and low to moderate income borrowers. It may generate more money, yes, for the GSEs to operate with, but it's not going to do anything for the first-time home buyers and low to moderate borrowers. I'm not seeing that connection. And of course, I'm not a banker. However, we can see what the contributor, Mr. Ted Rude, mortgage banker for the Federal Savings Bank, has to say about it. He says, massive new price hits for second homes is definitely going to impact second home demand, just as the agency caps for second home investment purchases last spring did. Those limits were rescinded in September, a hugely popular move that realtors, homebuyers, and lenders all cheered, stating that the new high balance loan fees won't impact borrowers' earnings below an area's median incomes is hardly comforting, since those borrowers are unlikely to be able to qualify for a high balance loans regardless of pricing. If the FHFA doesn't want second home loans, they should say so, rather than just slap new high fees on them. Depends on what your goal is, I suppose. If you just want money, you go where the money is. I'm not seeing the equitable and continuation of it. Now, here is a different article. This is The Real Deal, New York's real estate news. And I told you over a period of year that we're seeing so much blue migration down to the south, where we have, in like Tennessee, no income tax and lower tax rates and more freedoms and all the things that makes just Tennessee a come-to location. We're getting so many people down here because they're coming here. Well, the second home market is just that. It's a second home. And I have a little portion pulled up here, pre-highlighted, because we're talking about a different average of $877,000. That'd be a second home in a different location in Florida. Now we come down here to Sevier County, Tennessee, adjacent to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, is setting for a famed author's book, was second on the list with a 9.7% increase, followed by Kentucky's Trigg County with a 9.3% gain. The average price, I want to highlight this right here. This is the second home market. These are the biggest jumps. The average price for second homes in the two market was $574,000 and $409,000 respectively. That is not what I would call your first time home buyer price range. So these two things have nothing, her announcement and these two things don't really have anything to do with it, short of if you wanted to buy a lake home, you've got till about April, I think it is, to lock yourself in a rate before they go into effect. I can't pronounce this county in Mississippi, ranked fourth with 8.2% increase in rate locks. This is what they're talking about. By where they lock a loan rate in gives a good idea of where these second home mortgages are being written. And we're looking at about 10% increase here over last year or so, a little bit less than that. That's a lot of money. Anyway, we're going to return you back to the show and wind this one down. Hello, I'm Del Delbridge of Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are currently unrepresented and would like to know how to compare up to 3 properties side by side and room by room, then go over to my new YouTube channel, Call Del to Sell. That's one L in Del, no spaces. Watch the demo on Real Scout and then call me and we'll set up your exclusive ad-free account today. Now that we've gotten all that taken care of, what do you say we look at last week's numbers? That will be week ending in 12/31/2021. We had 8,645 opportunities in the Real Scout system. That was down over the preceding period. And we had 3,791, which were the under contracts still showing down over the previous period. And the ratio between those two was 44%. It also tended down over the previous period. Now this week, we have 8124 opportunities, which is down over the preceding period, and exactly the same number of under contracts still showing at 3791. Did no one close a home in the whole Middle Tennessee area last week? I don't know, but that's a freaky situation. They're exactly the same for a ratio of 47%, which is actually increased by 3 percentage points. So I don't know about you, but Monday was all the winter I care to have for this year. We had power outage here in the Hollow for about 7 hours, and when power came back on, we got a good 2 hours of it before the power went back off for another 7 hours, which is pretty nice. It gave us an opportunity to heat our homes back up, kind of get them up to warm before the temperature started dropping for the rest of the power outage, because everyone needs their power reconnected, not just me. So that worked out pretty well. But we just had some more winter last night I could deal without. And we hope that you and all your family members and everyone around have power and the warmth and everything they need to enjoy the winter time in any way you see fit. Thank you for watching. And remember, call Dale to sell.